Hi, Adias here. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the arpeggios that are offered within the Fantom. All right, let's get started. So first off, I'm going to go into single tone, and I'll just use any scene that is here, doesn't matter. I'll press single tone and temporarily clear out that scene. So now that I have a sound here, I'm going to go ahead and press the arpeggio button right here on the left. Press arpeggio, it pops open, and you see we have all these options here for us. First off, if I press enter button, there's a lot of different types of arpeggios to me. All right, we're going to take a look at some of these. So I'll go ahead and start off with the basic notes. So let's go ahead and explain some of these parameters. So I have it on note values, and if I wanted to, I can go ahead and turn on the hold button. I'm going to turn it off, but here's what I wanted to show you. I have different variations within here. So on this particular example, I have 12 variations. So let's go through a couple of these variations very quickly. So here's variation 1. You hear the accent on the 1. Variation 2. 4 eighth notes. Some triplets. There we go, 16th. So you hear a lot of different variations just within this one arpeggio. I'll go ahead and choose the number 4, which is the 16th notes. I can choose whether I want that motif to go up or down, up and down, random, glissando, a lot of different variations. So I'm going to tell you what, I am going to choose up and down, and let's give it a listen. Let's choose random. Let's try glissando. Now let's take a look at a different arpeggio that's offered. So I'm going to cursor back up. And as you see, let's choose some more. Oh, let's try some of this, the rhythmic 7 right there. So there you can see we have some different variations of the rhythmic. We have some different accented notes, we have some staccato notes, and some legato notes. So let's go ahead and play this one again. That's pretty cool. Now let's go ahead and go down to variation. And this particular one only has 5 variations. Let's go ahead and listen to number 5. And I'm going to play this with the bass note and the chord. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to choose this one. Let's go ahead and change the sound on this one. So I'll exit one time, and instead of piano, let's try it with the string and see how it sounds. So once again, I'll go ahead and press arpeggio, bring it back up, and let's give it a listen. That's pretty cool. So as you can hear, this gives you a lot of rhythmic variation. Let's go ahead and try a different motif. Right now we had it going up. Let's have it go up and down and see what we get. Let's try another one. Let's try chord. Let's see what that does. Pretty cool. Let's go down to phrase. Oh, interesting. This one's a little interesting. Let's choose this one and delve a little bit deeper into it and see what we can come up with. So now I'm going to go into my keyboard velocity. It's on the real, which I could go ahead and set it on a specific velocity if I wanted to. Octave range, it's on just one octave, 0, but we can go +1 all the way up to +3 or -3. That could be interesting. And let's go ahead and check our variation if that changed. It's still 5, all right? And look at this, shuffle resolution, a lot of different stuff. Let's go ahead and see what happens if we put it on -1 of the octave range. Let's go back to 0. Let's go to +1. Let's go back to phrase, to the motif, press enter, and I'm going to go up and down and see what we get. Now that we have it at the motif as up and down, and we have the octave range +1. So that's a pretty good one there. That is the rhythm number 7. Let's go ahead and check out another one. So cursor back up to the style of the arpeggio, press enter, and there's a whole bunch we can go through here. I'm going to go ahead and use, I enjoy these. Let's go ahead and try this electric piano progression 1 phrase. So since it says an electric piano, I'm going to cursor back over and switch it to an electric piano. Go back into my arpeggio, let's pop it open, and it says to go ahead and put it in phrase, so I'm going to put phrase, and now let's take a look at some of the variations. So let's listen to variation 1. I'm going to hold down, I'll put this octave range back on 1, and let's see what happens. That's pretty cool. A little fast, so I'm going to slow down that tempo. Let's do it just under 100. Oh, so that's pretty cool. It's actually playing a phrase. Let's listen to it again. I won't change any of the keys. Let's go ahead and just play one more time and listen. That's a nice phrase. Let's go back to variation, and this one appears to have 5 variations. Let's try variation 3 and see what we get. That's a pretty cool one. Let's try the 5th one. That's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and listen to one more arpeggio. So I'm going to go back into the style, press the enter button, so pop it open. And as you can see, there's a lot of different ones we can do here. I might go ahead, let's try the Latin piano and see what we get. Press OK. And here we go. Let's choose a piano. Oop, let me exit one time. Let's choose a piano, and I chose the V piano, the stage grand. Press the arpeggio button to bring it back open. And this one's also a phrase, so I make sure and have it on phrase. And let's see what variations I have available. This one has 9 variations. So let's listen to variation 1 first. That's cool. Let's listen to variation 4. And let's adjust that tempo a little bit. Bring that up. Try this. Pretty cool. Let's listen to another one, maybe 7, and there's 9. That's cool, and listen to one more, which is 9. So that's pretty cool. Just by pressing the arpeggio button, we can go in and we have a whole multitude of arpeggios. Now, it might say, we have 128, but remember, within each arpeggio, you might have things such as variation in here. You have different variations. So each arpeggio has a variation. So you can multiply that. And then don't forget, each arpeggio has a different type of motif. So we can adjust how it reacts in the key bed to our playing. And then also we can adjust the octave range. So there's a lot of different options that we can use. Now this can be a great performance tool. Maybe you have a bass arpeggiating in your left hand, or maybe you have a string section and a synth section arpeggiating in the middle, so you can have some really cool movement and you can just focus on the chords. Now, a question that's going to come up is, can I have an arpeggio in more than one zone? And the answer is yes. Check this out. I'll hit zone view, and zone view, I can see 1 zone, 4 zones, 8 zones, or 16, but let's use 4 for now. And if you just look over here to the right side of the screen, I can have arpeggios, multiple arpeggios right here. So if I wanted to, I could go ahead and have maybe a synth sound in the first. I could have a different type of synth sound. I could have a string and something else, and I can all have them reacting to the arpeggio. Now they will react to the same arpeggio. It's not a different arpeggio per zone. It's the same one, but that can be very helpful. Now you can also use this inside the sequencer. So if we're creating a sequence using the pattern, we can have arpeggios recorded into the sequence. Now at this point, you can use a different arpeggio per zone once it is recorded into the sequence. So this is a very powerful composition tool. All right, so this is just a brief overview of the arpeggios that are offered inside the Fantom. Go ahead and take a look, take a listen, experiment with it, and see what you discover so you can use it in your performance and also in your sequencing. All right, I hope this helps you out. You guys take care.